Alrighty, here we are, guys, just here in Plasticity. I'm just going to start making this thing. It's something I came up with while re-uploading a repackaged version of the dwarf character in the Reallusion marketplace for Red Spectre. And so I'm going to create a Dwarven treasure chest. I don't know how much will get done in this particular session. I've got to get ready for tonight. We're doing some karaoke, so got to kind of prepare for that and get my house cleaned up and whatnot. But anyway, let's get started. Okay, so first off, I'm just gonna make this thing kind of a rectangle here because, well, dwarves really like their geometric shapes and whatnot. I'm going to start off with a standard box shape, I think, something along these lines. The lid will be made separately. I'm thinking that it might be cool to either add big corners or to actually make the corners, what do you call them, mitered. So if we do that, let's select them all and push these in. I think that has a much better dwarven kind of vibe going for it there. Let's get rid of our curve at the bottom. Let's see. You want to do all your big stuff first. So if we start hollowing this out, then I've got to worry about all those extra edges and doing stuff like that. So right now I'm just trying to think, what can we do before I need to add or take away a bunch of other stuff. But it's funny, in this case I think we're probably there. I think this is going to be a kind of a standard-ish kind of a little coffer here. So I'm going to make a whatever my lid is going to be kind of like from there, and I'm going to create an angle, kind of how that's going to be. I need to make this, of course, on the same plane. So I'm just going to pull this and snap it back to that same point and then trim off these edges. Let me use my little trim tool here. Cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this from this side anyway. Straight across here and up. We've got a entire shape we can pull out now, and then we'll have to change it in a different profile. But for now, because this is actually a really simple way to create this box, we could have gotten a lot more crazy with it, but I'm going to pull this out all the way. I think we're going to go ahead and use that edge for the shape there, and let me see what I probably need to do here. From this end, more than likely, I'm going to make some construction lines here. We'll leave that one like so, and that means that this guy would be cut through from here to there, I think. And so let's just hit a shift here so we know that that's the correct angle, I believe. So what we're going to do is from this end now, we're going to have to do this maybe from two ends, or this might complete it here. We will have to see. But I'm just going to go cut. I'm going to use that line, right click, and get rid of this piece and see if that's what I'm looking for. And it is. So that's good news. We don't have to worry about doing all that business to the other side. I'm going to select these lines here, get rid of all these. And what we can do is we're going to flip that over. But before I do that, we want to create this same line going up. And I think it's got to be smaller up here. So that's an interesting challenge. Shouldn't be too hard, but I'm going to take this line here, and I'm going to copy and paste it in place there. I think I did that. And yeah, nope, I did not. Or did I? No, I did not. So let's get rid of those lines. I'm going to take this curve and duplicate it. So We're going to Control D it. I'm not sure why that's not working. Copy, paste. Did that one work? Nope. So with that curve, normally let's do Shift D. Sorry, that's what it is. It is a Shift D. So I'm going to duplicate that curve, and I want that to be the same curve toward the top. I'm just going to look around here, and this has to be there but pulled back a ways. So I'm going to grab it, and you know what? We need to duplicate that twice because we need to leave that one there to connect these together with. So let's go ahead and grab that and figure out exactly kind of how that needs to be situated up here. And I'm going to create a line to give me a something to do this along. So I'm just gonna hit my shift there to let me have that temporary line. I'm gonna grab this one and try to snap it from its center, which I guess is that. It's not, but it looks like it should be. That should be good right there. And I want to cut these off at that line, so what I'm going to do is create another line that kind of tells me where these cuts need to be made. It's a lot of lines. These are just construction lines. Let's see if this will work for this. It doesn't because they are not on the same level. So we're going to take, we just need this guy, whoops, this guy. I'm going to go ahead and take that one too, just in case. And I'm going to just pull that up until it reaches the top here. Cool. And now we should be able to trim this here and here. And I guess here and here. And I guess here and here. And here. I don't think we need this one either. So now we can just make a cutting plane by lofting between this guy and this one. We need to make that a 0, so we'll just L, and then we'll put this as G0, right click it, and I think we can use that to cut through, but let me find out for sure. We don't even have to cut through now that I think about it. I could just what do you call it, extrude that straight out. Let's see. You just kind of look from the side where it's saying that I can extrude it, because I'm not. We need to be in face mode, which we are. Let me hide the this dude, because that's, oh, you know what? I think it might even be already cut loose. No, it's not. No, it's not. All right, so let's hide this one, and we just need to take that face and extrude it outward. Guess that doesn't work that way. Oh, that it does. I just need to, instead of pushing it, extruding it. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead, I think, and extrude this way. And that should take care of it. Let me find out. And the way we are going to find out is to turn this piece back on. This one will now subtract from that one. So I just need to select it here. I'm sorry, the actual object. And we're going to go Q, delete, right click, and there we go. That's what I'm looking for. All right, cool. So then you're like, okay, but what now? Well, let's get rid of our little lofted shapes and curves. These are all the temporary stuff. Turn off my see-through there. And I'm going to duplicate this corner to that corner first off. So with a little Alt-X action here, we're going to just swap this, right-click. Those need to be joined together, so now they are. And then we're going to do the same thing this way. Alt X, swap it from here to here, and join those together, and we're good. So that is the overall shape of that dude. It's going to need some feet, I think, in my opinion, and I don't mean human feet. Let me just grab these and pull them up. Some type of interesting foot, but it needs to feel dwarven. So let's start off with some cubes. Now you can use like pillars, but they should really be like octagons and you know, hexagons and things like that, or squares. They did some triangles, but I think mostly it's you know, the more the straight side kind of feeling stuff. So what I think might be best here, let's go from the top, and I think I'm gonna make like a, let's see, I'm just gonna drag this dude out, and let's just go ahead and make that a 6-sided guy, something like that. Try to get me into a 45-degree angle here, because I want to where's my angle? Let's see, something size-wise anyway. Let me undo this, and I'm just going to draw it out from here. So like from here to here. Oh, that's central. I knew that. So one more time, we'll find the center of this line. There we go. Pull this out to the corner, and we need to make this however many sides it needs to be. Okay, that's working. So I'm going to grab this and move it down to the bottom edge, and I'm thinking that needs to actually be, I don't know, bigger or not, I'm not sure. But what we could do is give this like a little ledge here possibly. So let's look from the top again. Maybe go from center of it down. I think that's working. We'll go from center, or from the end of that one down. I'm just gonna complete this for the sake of doing it, and we're gonna grab that line now, bring it down, snap it to the same level as our other, so we get an actual plane there that we can work with. And for the sake of just not thinking ahead, but you know, progress, I'm gonna take this dude and pull it down. It's kind of our main footing there. Not sure exactly where that's going, but that'll be the start. And I believe with that, I can now take some shapes and cut them through here. Like, let's grab a line. I'm just gonna willy-nilly this kind of around. I don't know what I meant by that, but yeah, that looks good. And we'll take that shape now, and yeah, that's all included. So we'll take this shape now, cut it with that line, and we can get rid of that. So that's starting. And I am thinking quite possibly let's get rid of these. Well, I'm wondering, just thinking, that's all I do. I'm going to scale that one up a bit, grab it, put it about halfway through, grab the face of it. This might need to have even been bigger, but we're just going to pull that down to that bottom edge. I think that looks pretty darn cool. And then probably come back over here again from this side. Let me just straighten that up, and probably straight from here to here, cut that off. So why not? So I'm just going to go cut. We're going to use this one. Boom, and goodbye. Alright, so this kind of has more of that feel I think we're looking for. What's going on? I'm slowing down here in my ability to spin and turn. Alright, so here now, once again, I want to kind of repeat this. So I think what I will do first and foremost is grab all this and put that together. And then I'm going to take this just temporarily. I'm going to duplicate it and revolve it around like this. 90 degrees. So I'm just trying to look for that profile. I'm going to grab it and we're going to move it where I can match these two up right there-ish. Turn on our see-through so I can see that line right there. And on the other object, this one, we're going to take a line, create a line here that goes from, come on thing, goes from here, 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 and here. And then we're going to take this main object here, the first one anyway, cut it by using that line, and it won't because it's not going all the way through, so I just need to take it and extend it to some degree. I'm going to put those together as the same thing just to make sure they're good to go, because they might not be. And now I'm going to go back and cut using that line, and we'll get rid of this extra piece. I think we should get rid of all these guys, and this other one that has now been weirdly spun can be put, I think, I'm going to delete it because then I have to mirror one of these correctly. I might have messed this up. I'm just going to check. I know that's correct, but this piece needs to be duplicated as well. So what I'm going to do there, I think, I might have messed this completely up. Let's mirror this one. So I'm going to duplicate. No, let's yeah, we can Alt X that one this way. I'm going to take this one, crazily enough, move it over. Let's see if I can get this to match its center for the moment. I know it's weird, but it is correct. There we go. And then we'll take that one. We're going to rotate it from that center point, which would be kind of cool. So use this guy. We're going to rotate. Oh, nope, that's not the right one. Let's turn that off. I'm going to rotate V and use ooh, I'm not sure what I'm doing now. Let's find out. I need to get it in a better angle here. Something like this, which may or may not work. Let's find out. Need to find bread. Something like that. I'm going to move it. Yeah, there was no direct center on it, so that's why it was a little strange. So I'm just trying to guesstimate this angle now. Once I get it, yeah, come on. That's pretty close. So what I'm going to do is just grab this now, push this to where that covers that more. It's approximately the same, not exact, but that's pretty good. And now I need to so I'm going to take those, cue those together. Now they're one. And then we're going to look from the front. I'm going to make a line that runs through the middle, and we're going to use that for two operations here by selecting this. We're going to look at it from the side and the front here, so we're going to go cut using this line, and we have, so goodbye you. And then we're going to go to this side, the other side, any of them that work, and we're going to cut it using this one, right click, and goodbye to you, like that, whatever that health commercial is. All right, cool. That only took 42 hours, but the thing is, because it's not equal on all sides, and I didn't have any plan for this, so there's that. I'm going to now mess with some of these chamfers here, things I think would look kind of appropriate. I'm just going to pull both of these then. Got to be careful I don't kill that. This one, turn off my see-through. Duh. And this and this. Push those in a bit as far as it will let me get away with. I think that's working okay. So a little bit of one here I don't want, though. I'm not sure what happened here, but I think it's easy enough to grab the face, and here, whoops, grab these extra weird faces here, and I can pull those out and snap it to a surface that I need it to be on, or not. It's being weird. But we can go at least that far. A little strange. Let's see if it'll let me snap this one. Yep, that one is fine. Not a big deal. Oh, it didn't let me after all. Let me try this one though. Okay, good. And good. Let's do this one just a little bit, and right click, good. Okay, all good for the most part. It's a little, now it's a little weird here. I think we will survive, but I'm gonna just try to, there we go, perfect. All right, good to go all the way around. That's what I was all I was worried about. I think I want to try and chamfer. Come on, let go. These guys, let me just see if that works. It does. Let me just skip that one and this one. Just curious to see if this will have any kind of problem. Got a weird lag happening in my mouse. It's really kind of annoying. Come on, what are you doing? I don't know if I need to change its battery, but I think it's what's happening on screen and not within the mouse per se. Alright, I think that'll be fine for this for the moment. That's a little weird and ugly back here for sure. Not exactly sure why, but we can see, because that's weird. I can fix that by extruding a bit more here. No one ever will know anyway how that all worked out. We can also, once that is done, come in here, grab the whole piece, and tell it to delete any redundant topology that it doesn't need. It's okay. It's a little odd, but it's not going to show, so it doesn't matter. Okay, with this, I think it's a good base. I'm going to go ahead and Alt-X these around from here to here. Go ahead and union the halves of that. Evidently they're not perfectly the same. And we're going to Alt X from here to here to where we have all of our others joined and good to go. So that is the beginnings of that. Alright, so now what else? We can, of course, attach that anytime that we like. I think what I might do, because I'm not real happy with the thickness of these bottom rails. I think they look a little thin. I think we can beef that up a bit, and that'll help with a couple of things too. Some of the weirdness of some of the other. That's okay. I don't know what's going on with those end angles, but that needs to be dealt with probably as well. Weird. I'll fix that in a bit. It's a very strange little weird situation that's happening right here in the corners, but I can take care of that real easy in a sec. But cool. Let's hide the top for now, because I think that's all we're gonna need to do overall main structure. So I'm just gonna hide that. We're gonna take this face here, and I'm going to hollow a solid here. Where are we at? Hollow. And we're going to pull this inward until we get, you know, something like that. That was like negative 33.76. So we can try the same thing with our lid. Hide the bottom here. See, there's what we got. Those things we got to fix. Negative 33.76. So now we'll go back to hollow. 33, you know, close enough, something like that. Perfect. So now it's hollow both sides. I want to hide the lid as well. And I got to fix this stuff because something's wacky here. Something's wacky here. I'm going to start by just pulling this guy out to make a solid face on all of these. So I'm going to grab that one and this one and the other two to where they're even, and then we'll trim them off once they get up high. So it's a matter of pulling these up, and once they reach that surface enough like that, we'll right click and accept it all. And from the side right here, I am going to create a line that runs along this line, and we're going to take this beast and cut it excuse me, using that line. And that means all of those peaks go away. You know, and then we can delete redundant topology, see if that helps more. So it's just because I put this together without knowing exactly what those pieces are going to be like, so you know, it shapes itself along the way, and then eventually you can get to a point where you're like, well, you know, that line wouldn't have been there had I planned it. But see, look at this now. Perfect, because we went ahead and got rid of the redundant topology, and now all of those sides are perfectly the same and look great. We can even come in here now and I say take off some of these odd shapes here. In fact, when we do this, oh, it's not going to let me because there's just too complex right there. That's because we missed one of the lines. I'm willing to bet that was the case. So I'm going to select oh boy. Let me see here. See, that is not supposed to be jogged. Probably super easy to fix now, though, that this no longer has its problem. So we'll just do that. I'm okay with that one having a little jog to it, because this one also is going to be replicated around all four corners. So we're going to go in here and here and here, and I'm going to push those guys up till we get something a little better. I don't know what's up with this either, man. Some of these things went together at odd angles. So I think easily enough I can pull that one back down. Yep, perfectly good. And now, not horribly worried about that either. See, it's going to be give and take no matter where you're at, one way or another, it seems. So, yep, just leave that there. And I think overall that's going to be fine anyway. That's good. Not going to worry about inside corners and things that are hidden. All right, so with that corner done, we're now going to take that and transfer that to all four corners. And that's just going to be a matter of grabbing the object and Alt-Xing from this side to that side. So now both of these end pieces have it. And then we're going to go Alt-X from this side to that side, and all four will have it. And now we can just queue everything back together and run in and delete any redundant topology that may or may not exist. Cool. So that works for me for now. Once this stuff is turned back on, you'll see it's much better. Not too bad at all. This is a matter now of just figuring out, you know, okay, what needs to go on here being a Dwarven chest. I could see a lot of banding, stuff like that. So, in my opinion, I think all of these sides should have some type of framework around them. This here and here. Once we have this, we can do an offset curve here. It's like an inset in other software. So we're just going to do an offset curve and run this inward. Not sure why it's not doing it top to bottom. It's a little different. Let me undo that. It's not exactly how that's supposed to be. Let's try this just on one end. See the difference here now. Something up with the geometry. It's not offsetting. It's quite off-putting. Let me try one piece just to see also the difference here. Where are you at? Alright, so that's going to the outside. Very interesting. I don't know why it's doing that. So I'm going to grab all of these again, the faces. We don't want the inner faces though, just the outer faces. Okay, let's see how this can work, because I can also control R and put a line here, but if we go tab, put it upright and do them manually, if we get into any kind of trouble. So let me just see if I can do that offset curve again. Not sure that I can, so I'm just gonna see if there's a better way to do this. This might just be difficult no matter what I do, because I'm seeing it's not getting this in panel. Feels like it's making a double on that panel, which that's fine because we can get rid of it. I think that's okay, but I do want it bigger, and then I'm going to manually do the others. So this one now, get a Control R, and then we'll take that tab to change its, different orientation. That works. And then this one's going to get the Control R, tab, same thing. This one's good. I'm just going to get rid of that. In fact, this is how you would do that. I'm just going to go into the plane here to select this, and we can, I think rebuild will do it, or join. So let me see, J, J does it. Okay, so let me see. That's fine here. This one needs to be joined, come on, mouse, with this one. And then that one's okay, but then we need to do that. That one's okay, but this one needs to be joined here. So those are all good. Just need to do, now that's the other thing. If we want, I can just come around and duplicate this end over and so forth like we did before. So add an Alt X and flip this from here to there like that, making sure that we are unioning those two halves together. And then we can then we can Alt X from this end to that end, making sure we're unioning those together. And that should be what we're looking for. Now I do want to do a top and bottom as well. So the easiest way is going to be to cut this and put it back together. So I'm just going to go, I don't know, somewhere there and somewhere maybe here. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's handmade. There's that. We have that leeway. And then I'll move this one. Oh, it's getting weird on me. Grab that, pull that one down. So we're going to cut through the entire box along these two lines. So cut, and right click and it accepts it. And we'll wind up putting this back together here shortly. Yeah. So all I'm trying to do here is take these parts and push them inward. That was the whole point of all this. And that gives the feeling that, of course, all the parts that are left pushed out are the railing. Or the reinforcement, you know, or whatever of the box. So there you go. Alright. So with that now, we take this piece, and this piece, and we rejoin them together as one piece. In fact, I'm going to take the bottom and join it as a single piece as well. Cool. So every time we do something on 1/4 of this box, we can, up to a point, we can just remirror it all the way across. So on the lid here, I'm going to grab this and I'm going to move it up a bit because I want to actually have like a rail that comes down, straight down. So that will just be an extrusion of this face straight down, but we have to make sure that it's not a push, that it is an actual extrude straight down to that point. Right click it and we're good to go. And then I want to offset these. So I'm going to grab probably all the edges, I'm thinking. Well, all the visible ones that I want to affect. Like that. And then all of these. That's why the X-ray is off, because I do not want to select through the box and get stuff I don't want. 4 more of these. I mean 6 more, so 2 and 1. There we go. These are what we're going to try again to do an offset curve on. See if it lets me do them here. And it doesn't because of the something about the way they're connected, or their angle probably could be it. So we're going to try just the uprights now. And we have to do our little cutting scenario probably that we did on the bottom half of the box. So I'm going to right click and offset curve again. Let's find out how much it'll let us, and it won't. So this is going to have to be manual. Manual! I might be able to do one loop for each face here. That might be the way it wants it, which is also, you know, another way to do it. Let's find out. Yep, that is what it wanted. So these are going to be at -22. Cool. So we're going to do that on each one of these. It gets the same point across, and it's actually faster than doing all the cutting. So the offset curve is O. So this is going to be -22. And that didn't work. It's going to be 22. And good. Same here. And probably select the face more than likely. And do O. And oh, that's offset though. So we need to select the face and then offset curve, capital O apparently, and 22. Yep. Curve, O. Nope, it's going to have to be this and 22. Go, same thing. I'm not sure why it doesn't let me just hit O, because that's going to be an off. Oh, it did. Okay, cool. So now 22. Got my pen in my way. All right, and then this guy, O. And then 22. Perfect. Eventually becomes a rhythm. O 22. We didn't even have to click away. So good. Face there. O 22. Enter. Done. Could have been even faster. Alright. And those, I don't remember what their push in was, but we will approximate that. The actual distance they're offset. Eyeball it, as they say. They don't just say it, we all say it. So I'm just going to push these ends where they look approximately the same. I can't tell. A little less. I think it was something like 12 or 13, so we'll just stick right there. Works for me. Cool. All right, not bad. So I'm going to go through now and decide kind of what needs to be beveled and so forth. I think definitely all of the corners here should be a bit smooth, because even though they're angled, you don't want them sharply angled completely. Not on any of them for that matter, but these could be a little more rounded since they're not the bent corners that, you know, a lot of the other parts have. I'm going to do this on the uprights now. I like to do this more methodically and not just grab all the edges, because they can't be all the same size. Realistically, they wouldn't be, unless it was some kind of precision machine that made them that way. I mean, granted, could be magic, I guess, but you know, just gonna do, I guess, this top edge too. A little bit of rounding there. Only a slight bit, I think, on these. I don't even know if I should. I know that, and I'm starting to think this banding is a little, or this reinforcement's a little thick. If it was just metal banding, it'd be way too thick, but it's a good question now. Let's go ahead and roll those over a little bit, I think. I don't think we're able to get all of them in one go. And more than likely, I'm going to want to do these inners a little bit first, which is a huge pain in the butt, because I can't select all of them automatically like you can on a cube or something. So a little bit of rounding like that. That's too much. And my mouse is lagging again for some reason. So we'll then undo that. I think I'm going to come back and worry about those in a bit when I know what's going to show and, you know, what's going to actually be a problem. We're going to need some handles on the sides. And a locking, you know, like a lock plate with the keyhole and whatnot there. Some type of handle or whatever I think at the top would be kind of cool. Let's start off with a, yeah, with some kind of adornment that says, and of course, no circles, man, no circles. I'm going to grab a line here though. I'm going to come out like this. I'm going to grab the point of it over here. And, you know what I'm going to do instead of that is mirror that. Let's get the point of this one where we want it first. This will be the center of one of the circles. Cool. And I'm going to grab that line. We're going to Alt X that guy to be there. So now it's perfectly centered, even on both sides. We can use this as our positioning for our circles. I'm going to make the circle plate first, then grab it, then put it into place. I'm not worried about which direction it's facing at first. We're going to go ahead and Alt X that guy over to be on the other side the same way, and then we're going to bring those up to make a little plate, base plate for each one of the, where the handle grip comes over. I don't think I'm going to make it flip-floppy or anything. I think it's going to be a solid piece. So, and it does need to be probably lofted, I think. So I'm going to start off with a, let's go with a 6-sided shape like that. I'm going to duplicate it to, I don't know, something about that high probably. Maybe a little more. Dwarf hands are big. That's good. I'm going to duplicate that one to be kind of like this. Now remember, the way you make them doesn't matter. The order you make them in, it's the order you select them in before you loft that matters. So something about like this works. And then maybe they do have one rounded piece, because, you know, sometimes things just need to be made the way they need to be made. And then this rounded piece is going to attach from there to this one. And if we wanted to get crazy, we could pull these up slightly, make them a little fancier, because they're not actually directly coming out straight from that surface. They would slope up a little bit before we get to that. So I think that's kind of cool. Because it's a treasure chest, let's make it extra special. We're gonna go D. We're gonna make that one here. We're gonna make another one of that here. Let's make another one of these guys, but let's make it smaller. So we're going to scale this down, something like that. And then I think if we duplicate it, bring it up, rotate it slightly, I don't know how much. Let's just go an amount. I'm just going to bring it up now. And then make a circle at the center of it like so. Bring that up right here. This could wind up looking very cool. You're like, why are you making all these shapes, dude? Well, this is why. Let me show you. I'm going to grab each one of these individual. 1, 2, in order, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What it's going to do, it's going to create a skin from this one all the way through in order to that one. And Oh, I guess I did these out of order. Cool, let's redo that. So 1, 2, this one, then this one, this one, this one, then this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. All right, that should work fine now. So we L, good to go. I almost want more of a twist here. And that middle is just way too weirdly skinny. And that's just because of the way that has to loft. So I'm not going to loft from here to here until after this is done. And on this guy, now we're going to rotate this much more around. I hope that works. So I'm going to go from here to here to here, 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 and then here, but stop at that point. That's okay. I think it works. I wanted this more twisted, but that is totally fine with me. And then we're going to go from the bottom here to here to here. So these are separate lofts that are happening. And see, if you put this in as a G0 to G0, that's supposed to work, but it doesn't look like it is. So let me try one more time. L, G0, let's bring the tension maybe down or up. Okay, let's undo that and just go from here to here first off. Loft, perfectly fine. And then from here to here, loft. It's a separate piece, and that's what I'm looking for. So now those two will be able to be meshed together here in the end. I don't like this though, so I'm going to go back, undo all these one more time, because this needs to be more Dwarven. I mean, that was close, but not exactly. So we're going to go here like that. Perfect. And then we're going to loft from here to here separately. Good. And then we're going to go from here to here separately. And then here to here, and you get the idea. I just kind of wanted these a lot more straight than they were originally coming out. And let's see if we can do this. Yeah, because it kind of gives that little bulge because of the tension of those. These may work. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. And then this, loft it. Interesting for sure. And then we're going to take this whole piece now and make sure we stick all these parts together. Because they are all separate pieces. And I'm going to come in here and patch this to where it becomes a solid object. And then we can come in here and tell these curves to go away. So I'm just going to say goodbye. And so now we have these lofted pieces that are all separate from each other. And we can come in now and take all those solids. Make sure we don't forget that one. And I can join them together as a solid object now. So that is good to go. And we can come here and do stuff like grab all the corners, let's say, of this guy. Hopefully nothing weird happened in the forming of any of this that makes it do weird stuff like it is right now. I think those are two separate pieces still. Let's try to loft these together, or not loft, but to join those together. Yeah, there they go. And this should be able to be joined now as a single piece, making sure there isn't any other. I think that we're good. Okay, cool. So that piece now is, and I can come in here and do the thing I was trying to a second ago, and maybe. It's not letting me auto select around it, which is a little different, but let's go to the inside. There we go, much better. Can grab all of these now if we wanted to, and Chamfer those in, which is cool. And the same here. So hopefully you get the idea there. It is not letting me get all these, but hopefully those are connected. I'm pretty sure they are. Chamfer those in. Yep. Good to go. And if we want to, yeah, that's weird that it doesn't let me get all those all the way around. And then we'll have that. And then I'm going to grab this edge, do the same here. And there's so many ways, you know, to do the same thing, I guess. And here from the end, I guess that could have been turned so we can do this a little easier. Let's grab the whole object, looking from the top. We don't want that point to be where that thing comes through. I'm going to make like a handle piece that comes through. So I'm going to have to rotate this 90 degrees, which it did not. Let's just turn it this way until we get to put in 90. There we go. And now we can get a handle going there. And all I have to do for that is make our circle in the center of this area, like so. I like to do the actual hole all the way through, you know, and actually drill it through instead of just put something on the surface, because it doesn't. There's some, you know, like light cracks and the ambient occlusion and stuff that makes a huge difference when something is actually a hole instead of painting or just butted up against something else. So W, this, pull that through, done. Get rid of the circle, and now I can grab the thing here and chamfer that in. Cool. For that matter, I mean, all these edges could be slightly, what do you call it now? Slightly filleted. Just make sure we get rid of any of the ones we don't want. Cool. And now we can go B, which will let me bevel them to find me an edge that I can yank on here. Some of these are way too complex, so we're going to have to do this manually, which is my oh-so favorite thing in the world to do. Like that. It's probably this one that's screwed up, more than likely. I bet you I could pull on this and it wouldn't let me just because of that. Well, that's actually not true. Let's just grab these then. This and this. This. See if we can do both of these sides at the same time. Yet again, this might be, you know, where it's having trouble doing that. That seems to be allowing it. These were the ones I was really wanting to kind of make better. So let me just undo that guy here. Why isn't it not letting me undo him? There we go. So all those are good, and now I can just pull that. Ah, I see. There is an issue with this. And it's probably the fact that this is a G1 or G2. More than likely. So I'm just going to grab these and start here. Yeah, that's what it is. It's this connection here. It's not great, which sucks because that's kind of the area I wanted to make look good. I'll bet you this is a double line or something. Let's see. Just going to select these all the way around. You can already see there's kind of a weird patterning happening there, but this, what I just did, will probably allow me to do this part now. Could chamfer those to make them look a little more interesting, or cut, as opposed to just, you know, boring. Let's chamfer those back in, maybe. I don't want to get it too complex and make it be an issue, but, you know, it's pretty cool, just the same. And then grabbing this, rounding it slightly, just like maybe that works. This circle part might make it impossible to get that edge correctly. That. These would be good. Yeah. Let's see if that will work slightly. Let's see if we can do the same for the bottom edge. Good enough for me, and whoever else is watching. Maybe Bobby McGee's watching. Alright, cool. That works there. Let's do it here. These should be easier, he said. Worried that it might not. I think the arthritis is real today. People say the struggle is real. I think it's the arthritis today. Alright, let's grab these. Thank goodness. Pull those a little. This. I have to get these somewhat separate, somewhat together. And slight ones here. Just enough. Alright, works for me. Now I'm going to take this piece here. We're going to Alt-X it over to that one. Get rid of this other bit. Okay, cool. Hundred ways I could go about this. If anybody's watching, say hello. I know what you think if you have an opinion or want an opinion. So the point of that other comment about taking, not just butting up against a surface there was exactly this. As I duplicate that and pull this face out, now I've got that pole that actually is inserted through there. This would be butting up against it. The other would be the correct way. Alright, so I'm going to get rid of that curve, that polygon as well, and I'm going to take the end of this, pull this all the way through to say that it is in reality. I'm going to also take that piece and this piece and go ahead and meld them together, and I am also going to Alt-X them for now to where they are symmetrical and unioned. So that's where we are with this. I'm thinking too delicate, so this whole bit in the middle needs to be larger around. Bit like that. Alrighty, and then this. Might as well just do this instead of mirroring. I mean, it takes about the same amount of time in this case. And then we can push those back. I think that works. And I'm thinking, so watch out. But depending upon the scale of this, which is, I think, going to be about, I don't know, 2 feet long, something like that. I can go boom, boom, boom. Let's get these better aligned. This one needs to be move this one. Let's go grab, maybe that's what I need to do. Yep. We'll push this one down until, let's see, I'm going to move this and we're going to snap it, boom. Yeah, that didn't work. Cool, I can eyeball that. And like so. I'm going to put a slight bevel on those points. There we go. And then we're going to do a rectangular array to about that looks about centered there. And we're going to take the number down really low. Yeah, 4. Perfect. And then I'm going to take this dude. And I'm going to look from the end. We're going to cut it using these dudes. Pull that. And then this might be interesting. Take this, and I am going to let's see, what if I just, this ought to be interesting. Take this, here, here. So I'm going to recreate this using a profile curve now. You can smooth those out later. Just going to the centers of those, the first joint of those. Alright, just doing that. And I think, oddly enough, you'll be like, why would you do that? If I got rid of the center of this thing, make sure this is the correct one. Yep. If I took this here, we're going to Alt X that line to be flipped here. Agree to that. I can take this center section, chop it out, get rid of it. Take this now, which I'm going to get rid of those lines. I was just using that as kind of like a profile guide. At this point, I guess I could do a little bit of the slight beveling here. Like this. Just a little. Then revolve this whole thing. And I wonder if when I revolve it, I don't think I can do that the way I meant to. Let's see what it does anyway. It's alright, but it takes it out of the dwarf realm, so let's not do that. And let's take it, and this time do a shape that's complete. Here to here, here to here. And we're going to trim off those bits. And I want to it's probably not how I should be doing this. Probably should be doing this from the end. Yeah. Alright, let's get rid of the curves. That is true. And from the end now, let's do what we intended, I guess. And I'm just going to make kind of a shape, kind of like, come on now, let me get rid of that see through there, and we're going to go from here something like this, this, Nope, because that's supposed to be 6 times. So something like that. I'm just going to leave it like that. If I take this, come back to the middle, it should work. We'll see. Depends on how it lines up, but you never know. And let me take that and do a radial. We have to select all the lines of it, so we will grab this, this, and this, and I will join them. Now we'll take that radial. That's at 8. We want to go at least 6. Okay, so that does need a left and right. Okay, so let's make this a little bigger, and then flip it. So that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Whichever way this works out, I'm cool with. However that's going to fit. I'm going to get rid of this curve in the center, I guess, if I'm allowed. Actually, I'm going to join these first. It's not going to let me, but that's okay, because we can still revolve that or whatever. Radial array it, I should say. And then now I'm going to take that and Alt-X that. And we can just use the freehand on this to say where it's flipping from. Where are you flipping from? And then we can take that whole shape, radial array it 6 times. Right click it. I'm just going to grab them all. Grab them all. Move them over to start with. Not sure. Let's grab the curves actually. And not the curves of anything else. Just these. Should be it. Gotta not select that one. Get these out of the way. Now if I want, I could be crazy and go in and get rid of all the middles, but it's not really gonna matter a lot. And I think I'm going to get rid of the top half of this too, because that's where this double overlapping business is happening, which I'm going to save that one. I'm going to get rid of these. I'm going to take these particular ones. I think that one should be deleted, I think. So take these guys. And we're just going to duplicate them and rotate them around the center point there. So R, we'll go V, say right here. We're going to go like this. I'm going to put in 180. See what we get. That is better. I don't know if I like it, but I'm just gonna extrude it first and see, and if not, then I'll start over with something more simple, which is typical of this style. I mean, I don't hate it. Let's get rid of all these curves now. It's kind of interesting. Get it at least halfway across so we can mirror it. This, come on, getting weird. There we go. There we go. And then this, an odd situation, but we'll see how we're gonna deal with it. Because I can't get everything there, and that's totally fine. In fact, there's another way to handle that anyway. And then I think might be interesting to give this a little rim of some kind there. Thinking this and this are the same material, so that will work like that. This will die. Whoops, not that. This, that's one. No, it's not. There we go. And then this will go away. This will be mirrored when we get there. This will be mirrored. Alt X. Let's just use F and hit that, and then merge, right click it, and might as well do this one, I guess. Alright, so yeah, I don't like it. Cool, we'll get rid of it. All that work for nothing, but that's okay, because it tells me what I do like and what I don't. Gotta be willing to try new crap. So we'll start here. Hopefully that was straight. I am going to duplicate that. So I think that is good for that. Be as simple as we can now. And I'm just going to loft these two together. Actually, we don't even need to loft those. I could have just pulled that face out like so. In fact, let's just pull that all the way across. Alt X, F, This gets weird sometimes. Say yes and right click it. Should be good. Okay. And might get some type of leather wrap on it or something. Who knows? These need some type of bulky ends to it. So maybe start off with this. Come on now. Guess my stomach made a noise. Let's see, what am I doing? Lofting. Good to go. And this one to this one. This one to this one. Nope. This one to this one. This one to this one. And then we'll make that join together. J, and then I'm going to get rid of these curves. We'll take that lofted piece and we will patch that. We can take this, work all the edges however we need. these join together with these. I don't know, maybe that one. Why not? One piece. And if I wanted to go in and do something cool, I could do that to the handle, but I think for now that's pretty good like that. A lot more work left to do on this, but anyway, I'm gonna go now. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Like, subscribe, please, please, please.